What's going on, everybody? Alex with you here again as usual. Thank you for dropping by for yet another chess video. Now this video is going to be super exciting. In fact, this video is going to be so exciting that I didn't really get much sleep besides a couple of hours last night because I was up all night staring at the ceiling thinking about all the different things that I want to share with you guys with regards to this video. And so if I end up falling asleep halfway through this video, just let me sleep. Now the reason why I'm so excited is because in this video we're going to be taking a look at ChessUp, brought to you guys by Bryght Labs, which is the designer and the manufacturer of this board. ChessUp is a next generation AI-powered smart chess board using Touchsense technology. Now before I get into what exactly Touchsense technology is, I have to tell you guys that Touchsense technology, as far as I'm aware, hasn't really been used to this capacity in any of the other chess boards that I've seen. And in my opinion, there's a reason why I haven't really been able to get much sleep last night, because I wanted to share with you guys, this is some innovative stuff. This is like dope tech that Marcus Brownlee talks about. As far as the chess world goes, the type of technology that you'll be able to witness here has far-reaching implications, and it's not only to this board, but other chess companies will, I'm sure, also take note and start to implement things similar to this. But all I have to say is this is some really high-tech stuff. But before we proceed, please do take a pause and hit that like button, so that way the more likes that I'll get, the more likely this video is going to be seen by more people, because let's face it, we want people to know about these new chess technologies, and the only way that we can get people to know about them is if you guys comment and if you guys like these videos, and also if you guys watch them to the end. So anyways, if you hit that like button now, good. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start this video by looking at the physical characteristics of the board and also the additional accessories that will come with the board if you choose to purchase them separately. Just kind of like the Chestnut Air. They are going to be selling you a really nice case that we're going to look at shortly, as well as additional accessories that I feel like you may find helpful while you're exploring this board. Okay, let's go ahead and start off by looking at the case. You get this really quite nice case. This case is actually a little bit bigger than the Chestnut Air case, a little bit wider, but that's because the board's going to be just a little bit bigger, as you'll see here in a minute. The outside fabric is really nice and sturdy, and it's almost like kind of like a semi-waterproof, really good construction. This shows you that the company has really taken the time, because I mean, when the company is developing these things, you have to consider that the type of material and the quality of the material, they do have a choice in what they're selecting. So when the company say, we're not going to spare any expense and we're going to just basically get the best quality materials out there, it goes to show you that the company wants you to have a good quality product. Okay, and so that's meaningful to me when I get these type of products. It's really important for me to kind of really ascertain the quality, not only of the board, but also the additional accessories. And that's what we're going to be looking at. You have this nice, really nice case here with this leather or leatherette, I'm not sure, really nice little emblem here stitched with the brown leather, says ChessUp. The case has a main compartment right over here, and the cool part about this main compartment is that the inside is really soft and velvety feel. It's this black material. It's kind of hard for me to show you guys, but it's got plenty of space for the board. And it also has, like, around the center compartment, it has these sort of a kind of a harder like separations here that help to protect the board. So that way, when you're carrying this board around somewhere, whether you're going to play somewhere, you're not likely to damage the board by maybe hitting it against something. So that's a really nice feature. The main compartment zips up, and then you have, just like kind of like we've seen before in the Chestnut Air, we have the really nice strap here that gets attached to the side, so that way you can either carry this case by the handles here as you're just kind of walking like a briefcase, or you can just have it over your shoulder. When my wife was looking at this bag, she said it really does look like a professional bag. She told me you can really like just go to work with this and nobody would bat an eye. They would say this is a professional briefcase type of thing. So It's a nice, gives a really nice professional look, and that is one of the things that I really like about it. Okay, subsequently, you have another little compartment right over here in the front that is just as spacious. It's not as big, but it's big enough for you to be able to either put your chess pieces in here, or you can put like the charging cord, or you can put additional accessories if you would like. And then finally in the front, you have these protruding compartments right over here. They really do protrude a little bit. So that way it's easier for you to, like I said, maybe store your chess pieces, or I'm sure everybody's gonna find their arrangements as far as which compartment they want to keep what in, okay? So this is the case, and I feel like if you're going to choose this type of product, you might as well choose a case, because unless you're keeping this product strictly somewhere in your house, somewhere on the table, away from the kids or the pets, and you know that nobody's gonna touch it and it's not going to get damaged, then yeah, probably you can get away with just getting the board and just setting it up and keeping it like that. But in any other circumstance, honestly, I think that getting a quality bag like this, specifically designed for ChessUp, is going to be the way that I would recommend you would go, okay? In addition to the bag, we have these really nice little carrying pouches that, like I said, also are really, really high quality. The same type of material that we've seen in the bag that there are for the chess pieces, okay? On the top, you have these drawstrings that you can just close. On the inside, you have that same nice velvety feel. Oh, it's a really nice touch, guys. So you have these two pouches for the chess pieces, and based on the size of the pouches, I'm assuming once you close them up and they kind of take up a little bit less space, maybe kind of fold them, you can place each one of the individual pouches in these, or you could probably drop the pouches in the second compartment, because the first compartment, the bigger one, is going to be for your chess board, okay? So in addition to that, there's a couple of other things that we do get, okay? If you choose to purchase, you know, that like the entire set, everything that will come with this, you have the phone stand. This phone stand is really kind of a higher quality phone stand among any of the phone stands that I've seen, just because it's made very sturdy. It's really, people have taken the time to design it, because when you open it up, the little hinges for the phone just kind of like open up as you're opening this phone stand. So it's really cool. And when you fold it in, they just kind of fold inwards. So that's kind of cool. And then you adjust the angulation of the phone stand depending on how high or how low you want the angle of your phone to be while you're playing the board, okay? The phone stand's relatively heavy on the bottom, so that allows you to be able to place either an iPad here or a phone and be perfectly fine with it, not have to worry about it like toppling over. On the bottom of the phone stand, you do have these nice little rubberized points, so once you put it somewhere on the table, it's not likely to slide, even if the table is kind of uneven. In addition to the phone stand, you also get this additional little box for checkers. Okay, so checkers, you would say that's weird. No, checkers is cool, and the fact that they actually made these pieces, these checker pieces, really, really quite nice. It's just sort of like really dense, heavy plastic that almost makes it feel like kind of like stone or gypsum or something. It's really nice. It's not like the inexpensive checkers pieces you'll get at like the store. They're really nice, broad, and they've been made specifically for this board, really nicely color coordinated with the rest of the board and everything, so that's kind of cool. It allows you to be able to play checkers on this board in times when you might not necessarily want to play chess, or maybe you have company over that would rather play checkers than chess. You still have that option, so that's kind of cool. Like, I mean, we're not always going to be playing chess, so for that reason, we have checkers, okay? Now, that's about all you get. You also get a charging cord, but that comes within this box. I was going to do like an official unboxing type of video, and I told my wife, I said, well, I don't want to open this up because I like to be able to remove the plastic wrap. And she's like, you can forego that and just open it up, test it out, and that way you can bring to your viewers what they really want to see, is your opinion, your take on the board and everything, okay? You get a USB-A to USB-C charging cord, no charging dock, just the cord. But I'm assuming like a lot of these companies, they assume you have a dock somewhere, whether it's your phone charging dock or whatever. The cord's really nice. Actually, it's super duper long. I think like 6 feet or something like that. So it's got a really long reach to it, and that is used for charging your board. Okay. Let's just jump in. I'm gonna kind of change the angulation of the camera so we can open up this box and take a look together. Okay, to the best of my ability, I switched up the angle. Hopefully it's as good as it's gonna get. Here's the box, ChessUp. It's a really nice quality box, kind of has that Apple feel to the box itself, really nice and thick. Got good durability to the box, and here we have it. Okay, yesterday this was all wrapped up, today it's not. This is the board that we see here. A really quite nice color board. I was reviewing it last night myself in the room, but here from this sort of natural light from the window, I'm really starting to gain even more appreciation to like the overall coloration of the squares. It's got this nice sort of a semi-wood grain type of feel where the dark side of the board here, the surrounding sides and the dark pieces are all kind of the same color. This kind of almost like a mixture between dark purple, gray, and brown. It's just the right feel for this particular board because it really goes well with the light squares, and it's not super contrasty. And overall, I feel like it. Because when people are creating these type of boards, the color selection is really important. If it's a board that's too contrasty, and you're looking at the board for many hours, it may end up being to where it might just be kind of straining for the eyes. So this is the actual board here. It's got as you guys can see right over here. I hope it's not upside down, but it might be. I don't know. ChessUp, little ChessUp emblem right over here that does light up from the bottom, as you'll see here shortly. There's actually a lot of little tiny indicators on the bottom, right underneath here, that you do not actually see, but just trust me on this, they are there. There's indicators here as well as like touch buttons, which is really cool. This is some high-tech technology. As you'll see once I turn the board on, it's really awesome. But for the time being, we're gonna take this board aside and we're gonna show you what's underneath. The actual sizing of the board is gonna be something like 13 and a half to 14 inches in width and like 15.5, something like that in length. But the playing size of the board is 12 by 12 inches, making the individual squares like 1.5 inches across. So it's not your typical tournament size 2.25. But it's still quite large. It's still large enough for you to not only be able to enjoy all your games on this, but be able to play in such a way that you don't feel like you're crammed for space. Honestly, this is a very good size. It's probably a size that's very suitable for this type of board. The board itself isn't very heavy at all. On this side here, I'm gonna have a hard time, but I'll show this to you here in just a second. You do have the charging port, the USB-C charging port, the on and off switch, and then you have like the battery indicator. All your other indicators that are necessary for you to play the game are gonna be kind of hidden underneath right over here, which is really cool. I'll show you guys here in just a second when we power on the board. Underneath here, you have the little box for the charging cable, which I've already taken it out. And then you have these really nicely protected little foam pads that are housing your chess pieces here. Now this, although this could by itself, like the box could be used to hold your chess pieces and your board really nicely. In my opinion, I still think it makes a lot more sense to actually just get the board and the carrying bag together, so that way you can just store your chess pieces in the bag itself, because this box itself will still occupy quite a bit of space, and it might be hard for some people to find the right place to put it, like storage wise and everything. So you have these little chess pieces here. You have the extra queens, the 2 queens per side. This little startup guide is really useful, especially for when you're trying to initially get kind of familiar with the board, because it does show you everything that you kind of need to know. Hopefully you guys are going to be able to see it from where you are, but the power switch is located right over here on the side. It's an actual tangible kind of clickable switch, which is a really nice touch, because a lot of the other boards that I've seen, they just have this like little button. So to have an actual clickable switch where you know one way is on and one way is off is really nice, because it's less confusing. Then you have the USB-C charge port right next to the switch, and then the charge indicator light is on the side. That's pretty much all you get on the side. Here is the white side, here's the dark side. You do get notation on this board all around. Here there's indicators on each one of the sides that allow you to choose between playing against a computer or an over the board person. So we'll get to the nuances of the playing style here shortly. You also get an indicator of whether, like when your battery starts to die, you get an indicator that will pop up here on the side of the board that'll say that your battery's dying. You have the Bluetooth connection status, and then right over here alongside of the board, if you do get to the point where you're promoting your pawn, it will light up for you to be able to choose whether you want to promote to a rook, knight, bishop, or queen. So that's kind of neat too. And then that way you don't really have to necessarily go to your phone in order for you to achieve the full functionality of the board. And that's another thing I want to talk to you guys about here in just a minute. And that's about it. That's about it for the actual like sort of physical characteristics of the board. The pieces are really nicely made. You have the light and the dark pieces with really nice green velvet right here underside. All pieces are kind of made really nicely. They didn't really spare any expense on making this really plush, and also soft enough for you to be able to use it on the board. And it's got a really nice smooth surface to both the board and the piece, so the sliding overall of the pieces is really quite, it feels nice overall. So let's just go ahead and set up the board, and I'm going to kind of talk to you guys about the functionality and what to expect out of this board, my opinion, that kind of thing, okay? Okay, so now that we have the board set up, I'm just going to show you guys. When you have this board set up, you really don't even need your phone. That's the cool part about this board. That's one of this kind of the selling points is, now unlike some of the other boards, is that the cool point about this board right now is that without even connecting this board to your phone or to your iPad, you have the opportunity to already be able to play the game. So the way that it works is that when you click the on-off switch, the board will light up. Take a look at this. Hopefully we'll be able to see the board light up. And right over here on the side, which may be kind of a little bit tricky to see, but you do have these little indicators on both sides. Right now, this little indicator on right over here, this sort of little button, you can actually sort of depress it, and you barely need to depress these little indicators that allows you to select all the different modes here. And I haven't still fully got into like being able to figure out exactly which indicators, but you can choose either side to be either like a live human individual, or you can choose them to be like an AI, meaning the computer. If you choose, for example, to have the AI, you can also choose the AI to have a different level of difficulty. So here you have like 6 bars to choose from. And then you have these blue bars here, which I really haven't explored fully yet. But what I'm planning to do is I'm planning to really take this board for a test drive and really take the time to learn to the full potential, like exactly what this board is capable of doing. In the meantime, what I want to show you guys is basically the fact that this board, okay, here we go. So let's say, for example, that I want to be playing for white and I want to play with help. And what help means is basically you have 3 levels of help here: no help, some help, and a little bit more help. A little bit of assistance, and you'll see what I mean here in just a minute. So we're ready to start. See, we're ready to start. And the Touchsense technology, the way that it works, basically, as you can see, like I'm not the very first person that did the video on this board. Actually, I've seen Eric Rosen has done a video of this board like about 8 months ago or so. By the way, if Eric Rosen ever watches this video, I really enjoy your chess videos. I really enjoyed you playing some games on this board. It was really cool to see. But I'm not sure Eric Rosen will ever watch these videos. Anyways, Touchsense Technologies basically kind of uses this inductive type of connection whereby it senses the electrical charge of like your fingertips, which is really, really cool. I haven't seen this in any of the other pieces. And basically, you barely touch the piece, so just like barely. You don't have to actually depress anything. And it tells you the moves that are possible for all your chess pieces. So, for example, right over here, it will give me sort of an idea as far as what moves I can do. It also gives me an idea, like if I'm playing with help, it also shows me which moves the computer believes that are stronger than other moves. For example, if I do this, it just shows me that, yes, that pawn can go forward by 2 squares right over here, see? It'll show me, however, that if I push the first one here, I'll get a little green. So see, like right over here, it might be hard to see with the light from the window, but here, that means that the computer believes that that would be a little bit of a stronger move than, for example, moving the pawn here. So, and it does make sense since the, you're going to be occupying and controlling the center a little bit more. It also believes that putting the knight to f3 is going to be a stronger move than putting a knight to, for example, h3, and also some of the other moves. So it gives you that help. Look at that, c4. It thinks that c4 is a pretty good move. So let's say I make that move. Now the computer, that you're playing against the AI. Like I said, you're not really yet connected anywhere, so that's kind of cool. You don't need a phone for this. As you can see, the AI is playing very quickly. Once again, here we can take a look, and it basically shows me that we have a lot of good moves here. We have the ability to see what every move does. And here's the light indicators. I'm not sure if the camera will pick up, but look at this. When we push this here, right over here, we have blue square, blue square, blue square, blue square, red square. The red square tells me that that move here would be a blunder, okay? And it does look like it's going to be a blunder because if I put my bishop there, it's likely to be taken either by the knight or the pawn here. So that's kind of cool. I know this is kind of an obvious blunder, but as you'll see here in a minute, that the help that this board will provide for you is not only limited to like very obvious blunders. It'll show you weaker moves, stronger moves. This board is really designed to help you understand chess better. It's designed to help you learn your game better, whether you're playing online with this board against other people, whether you're playing against the AI. It basically is built from the ground up in slightly different way in that it helps you learn the game, okay? Especially like, for example, if you have a move that, here we go. So I move this way, so I'm making a relatively, simple opening here. It tells me that's where it wants to go. And then once again, I still have a lot of different options here. And it believes, like, for example, here, I can go ahead and go here. I'm going to take. The computer decided it's going to go with this. And, I can just look at this. Look at this. Look how awesome this is. It shows me all the good moves. It shows me moves that I probably shouldn't do. And look at that. Look how cool that is. Touch every piece. And look, because my queen's in danger, every other piece that I touch is considered kind of a blunder. See, look. Except for maybe this one where I'm also endangering the queen here. That's really cool. So really, the fact that like the board lights up in this way is so much different than some of the other boards, because in some of the other boards we just get like a little tiny indicator on the side of the board or something to where it's not as colorful. This is really, really colorful. Like, this is really, really cool. Once again, because I have light coming out from the window here, it might not come as vivid as it really is, but I think that the lights here really help you understand the game a little bit better, okay? So that's, in my opinion, that's a really cool feature. Let me jump in and talk a little bit about the connectivity of the board to your phone and your iPad, and kind of talk to you guys about what to expect from this board as far as features and as far as what the board is planning to do, in the future. And the fact that when you touch the individual pieces, half of the board lights up is also really quite exciting, at least to me. I don't know if you guys getting excited by this type of thing, but like, I get really excited because this is some groundbreaking stuff, okay? So the board itself has been designed from the ground up, even from the name, ChessUp, in order to improve your chess skills. So that means whether or not you're playing online against somebody, or whether you're playing against the computer, it's designed to be able to clearly show you through the little lighting indicators and everything that where the board sees you making inaccuracies, where it sees you making blunders, where it sees you making mistakes. Now, when you connect this board to your phone, you will have to upload the ChessUp app, and then you will have to log in. Furthermore, a lot of times if the board just initially comes, once you create the profile on the ChessUp application, you will have to probably do a firmware update. I had to do a firmware update when I opened this board up yesterday, so that took me probably about 5 minutes or so. But the really cool thing about once you sort of connect this to your phone is when you take the board out of the box, okay, and you just want to play without the phone or anything, you can always play against the AI. And you can get 3 levels of assistance. You can either get like no assistance, to where basically where you're pressing the pieces and it will only light up to show you which are the legal moves. So you touch any of the pieces and it'll basically, which is cool by itself. Because if you say, well, I know where the pieces move. Yeah, well, sure you do. If you play games, if you've been playing chess for a while, that's fine. But think about this, okay? And I thought about this too, is, for example, let's say you're somewhere in the middle of the game and you are focused. You're focused at bringing your pieces to one side of the board. You're so focused that you're like, okay, I'm about to bring this bishop to the right side or the left side or whatever. You pick up the bishop and you're like, okay, I see where I need to take it, okay? But in this particular case, you touch the piece before moving it, and it shows you that it can not only go to the right side, it can go to the left side. And by drawing the path out for you, for every piece that you touch, by drawing it out, it gives you a visual representation of everywhere where the piece can go. And although you might already be aware of that fact, you might already be like, well, of course I know that it can go down this diagonal or this diagonal. Just by visually drawing out the path for you, it can allow you to be like, well, I do see that it's also drawing the path, and I do see that I could be moving to the other side as well, and maybe coming around and maybe setting up my bishop on the other side might be a better move overall. So these type of nuances, even for an experienced player, is something that I feel is very valuable, because, like I said, even if it just draws out the legal moves for you, it's still really cool to be able to see where those legal moves are, so you can get a much better visual representation of where you can go and what you can do. I think that it really opens up opportunities for a lot of people. Second option, as far as like what you get out without using the phone, is the assistant level of basically that will show you blunders. The blunders will light up in red. That basically are like direct blunders. Don't put your queen in front of the pawns. Don't put your major pieces in front of the pawns. Don't go attacking this piece or that piece, because you're going to lose, a lot of material. I think that type of assistance is still helpful for a lot of people. But what more people are going to be looking for is a slightly more assistance as far as the third level that is presented right out of the box with this board, is to show you strong moves. As we have seen, the stronger moves will actually light up a green color here on the board that'll say, these are the moves that the board believes would be preferred for you to attempt. Now, the board may not necessarily be absolutely accurate in all instances, as we've seen. Sometimes computers may not necessarily think in the way that humans do. So, but even with that in mind, I think that it's still really cool to see that from what I've experienced with this board and from what you guys have seen, that some of the recommendations that the board does as far as like what moves it believes to be stronger are actually pretty accurate. Now, when we get into the application and we connect this board to the actual ChessUp app, we get six levels of assistance. Because once you connect it to the phone, now it's using Stockfish, and as we all know, Stockfish is a really strong chess engine, and Stockfish will allow you to actually be able to give you a lot more assistance. That's really, really quite cool. Not only that, once you connect it to your phone, even if you decide to play against the computer, you get to decide to play with level of difficulty for the computer that's going to be a lot bigger than what you get straight out of the box with the board, all the way up to ELO 3000. I mean, that's a lot. So the way that I would use this board, because here's the thing, okay? There are boards out there, and there are applications, there's phones, there's computers, there's so many stuff now that you can just go on chess.com or Elite Chess. If you're looking to play against other people, you can find all different ways of doing so. And you'll be able to do that here with this board as well. That wouldn't necessarily be a problem. But there's boards with some strengths to them that set them apart from other boards. And ChessUp, in my opinion, really shines when it comes to being able to learn as you go and improving your chess skills by really allowing you the opportunity of really analyzing your game as you go. Because let's face it, when we play a game against somebody online, we're not evaluating our games unless we actually go back and review our games. We're not taking the time to evaluate. We definitely don't evaluate the games as we go. We just kind of sort of think, then we win or lose, and we kind of move on. The fact that this board basically is designed to allow you to evaluate your game as you go, it allows you to ask questions while you're playing. And that's really, really cool. So with maximum assistance level that is provided by Stockfish, on a maximum level that you wish to play against, let's say, the AI, this board will give you so much opportunity to improve in your chess in such a way that it's different from just like playing online all the time, that in my opinion really opens up this board to a brand new way of learning chess that's different from the other boards that we've seen before. Okay, that's what sets this board apart. It's because like I'm moving away from, hey, I have for example, my kids have these iPads and stuff. I can read my books on the iPad. I can also use the iPad to watch movies, listen to music, play video games. But no, for my video games, I have a video game system. For my books, I have a Kindle. For whatever else, I'm going to if I need to nail a nail to the fence outside, I'm not going to use some multi-use thing. I'm going to use a hammer that's designed specifically to nail a nail into the fence. Okay, and that's where technology, I feel like, is starting to move forward, is creating things like this that are designed to shine in like one particular aspect, so much so that it outcompetes most of the other boards in that particular aspect. That's the aspect that kept me up last night, is I was thinking about this board, and I was thinking about really the sort of the implications and really the usefulness of this board. Sitting down and really taking the time to play against, whether you're playing against AI, whether you're playing against another player, with the assistance that you can receive from this, it's really, really something cool and really exciting. Okay, so one of the really, really cool things that you can do with this board is, let's say, for example, that I sit down and I want to play against somebody in real life, like sitting across from me, whose chess skill level is substantially different from mine by like quite a lot. Meaning, let's say, for example, Magnus Carlsen decides to pay me a visit. By the way, if Magnus Carlsen ever watches this video and decides to pay me a visit, by all means, my house is always welcome. Get you a cup of coffee, we can play a game of chess. Not that that'll ever happen, but either way, I'm just saying hypothetically, if let's say I'm playing against Magnus Carlsen, I can set this board in such a way that I can basically configure the board that basically will allow me to receive quite a lot of assistance. Okay, so in a way that I'll be able to receive assistance. Maybe he's playing without assistance, but that'll kind of help to level the playing field, so to speak. Because let's face it, chess is a game to where, like, even if you're playing against somebody whose chess level is like 200 points higher than yours, sometimes it's just not fun to play because they're just always like winning the game. If you know this, I know this. But you have some friends out there who's like substantially, like maybe 200 or 300 points higher than you are. It's not even fun to play because they're always winning. So this board allows you to kind of help to level the playing field. Okay, so you can configure it to where you get some assistance or more assistance, and that's really cool. So same way that we've seen that where the board will light up and kind of give you some help with regards to, like, okay, these moves could be a little bit stronger than other moves. You can set up whatever level of assistance you would like, and that way it'll allow the opponent to feel like they're playing against somebody that's strong enough. Because for the opponent, who is also a lot stronger than you are, if they're playing against you, they might not even be all that entertained or challenged, and they might kind of be bored because they realize just how far ahead of you they are. And I've been in that situation. I played against a friend of mine, Dennis, when I was younger, and he was just so much better. So I couldn't win. I still tried. But to him, sometimes it would get boring. He would say, well, why are you making these blunders? Why are you sacrificing these pieces? And I'm like, well, I still want to play. I'll beat you one day, But had we had this board back in that day, and I would have kind of sort of upped my assistance level, all of a sudden both players would receive a lot more enjoyment. So that's one of the cool things about this board. Additionally, like I said before, it allows you to be able to receive the assistance while playing against a computer, which is really cool. You can set up the level of difficulty anywhere up to 3000 ELO, which is really, really cool. And you can receive as much assistance as you want, like I said, down to like even the inaccuracies and everything. So that way you can really take the time and utilize this board for what it's really created for. And like I said, and that's for really analyzing your games, okay? Subsequently, you can utilize this board once you download the ChessUp app. As I did here on my iPhone, you can create a profile, log in, and then you can, once you log in, you basically, like, the cool part is as soon as you turn on the board and you have the ChessUp, immediately it connects right here. It immediately shows me that the board is connected. That's really, really cool. Okay, so there's no waiting around, so that part is really awesome. On the actual app here, they're still kind of developing and enriching the application here, and because this board is so new, they're still sort of working some of the stuff out here. But what is really cool is we're going to be getting puzzles on this board, hopefully sometime soon. One of the things that you'll be able to actually utilize the app for that I find really, really cool, and I can't wait for them to fully develop this to its full potential, is the learning. So learning will be provided to you by grandmasters of all different skill levels and strengths that basically will help you to kind of get a better understanding of the game. And that all will be provided through the app, and with the integration of the board, I can't wait for them to fully develop this and be able for me to experience it, because I think that there's so much potential in like learning like from the ground up, that in my opinion it's going to be really worthwhile once that gets fully developed. Okay, now when you do want to play a game and you want to go ahead and play a new game, it allows you to choose on your phone whether or not you want to play with assistance. And if you do want to play with assistance, you get, like I said, you get 6 levels of assistance. It's really, really cool. And you can play that. It'll indicate for the assistance levels. It can indicate whether best, excellent, or good moves. That's really awesome. inaccuracies and mistakes and blunders, and also basically will show you where the pieces should go and everything, so the legal moves of the pieces. So that's really quite nice. Okay, if you do start a game, you can play against random, you can play white or dark, you can play an opponent over the board, which is basically, if you do that it will record your game for you. If you play against the AI, then you can play against the computer, and if you do click the AI, it will choose from level ELO of 100 all the way up to 3000. Or you can play online, which at this time you can either play from their database of the ChessUp, kind of same way that Square Off was doing the kind of their own little realm. So they'll have the ChessUp, and then you can have Lichess. Chess.com is coming soon, so they're still developing that. Now I've tested this out and it works really well on my iPhone. The Android, they're still kind of ironing out some of the kinks, but it's going to be hopefully all ready to go here very shortly. So like I said, this is some very promising technology. This is very new. In fact, like, this board just came out on the market this month. It's been in development for I believe like a year or more. I'm going to kind of conclude this video here, kind of let you guys leave your likes, leave your comments. Very important that you guys leave the comments on things that you want to see in this board, or the improvements that you want to see. Anything really that you want to leave in the comments is really helpful, because I'm not the only one who reads the comments, and you guys are not the only ones who leave the comments. But let's face it, the companies that I make, like, I make these videos, I make the videos of the Square Off, I make the videos of Chestnut, I will make additional videos of other companies, and the companies, not only the ChessUp company, but also other companies that will look at these chess videos, they'll read your comments. It's kind of like feedback that you guys are leaving. So if you want to say, hey, I really like to see this board do this and that, they will read those comments and they'll take it into consideration. If that's something that they could implement in this board, I'm sure they will. If they have enough people that leave enough comments saying, we would really like to see this particular option in this board, I'm sure they're going to take that into strong consideration. So leaving comments is very important. Leaving likes is even more important, and watching these videos in their entirety is like super important, because that way the YouTube algorithm will actually be able to gauge the popularity of the video and allow more people to see this video and allow more people to gain benefit from watching this video. I am really excited about this board. I'm going to conclude it here. As you guys have seen, really cool technology. What I'm going to be doing with this board is I'm going to be probably taking this board with me to when I have to wait to pick up my daughter, because even though this board's kind of large, it's still not super big, and I totally can see myself taking this board out to like just wait and sit in the car and play, because I want to take the time to really learn the ability of like playing it against the AI, and really see to what extent this board is going to be able to help me kind of understand the game. So I'm going to take some time, and I'm going to for sure make subsequent videos on this board, and I'm going to like try to kind of give you guys a little bit more of a take on how much this board has allowed me to really increase my understanding in chess, especially using Stockfish, because Stockfish is really powerful. So I really want to take the time. And here's another thing too, is that when you are making strong moves or inaccuracies, part of the way that the chess app here will be working is, if you do have, for example, as a position in which you have several good moves available to you, you can go to the app here and you can say, okay, well, I see that I have several. Which one would be my best go-to? And then you can click subsequently, and it will kind of expand and allow you to understand that better. And I think that that's a really also very strong point, because that way you can really take the time to analyze the consequence of your moves, and that way you can learn. Another thing that I really enjoy about this board is the fact that, like, for kids that might be just getting into, or like people that just might be getting into learning how to play chess, the bright lights is really cool because it's very self-explanatory. It's bright, it's catchy, and it just makes it more fun overall. In my opinion, I think it's a lot more fun to have something nice and bright and in different colors like this. It's really cool. So I was able to, because I fought for you guys and I really wanted to get a discount. So the very first thing that I did is, the only way to get a discount that'll work is to affiliate. So I affiliated with ChessUp, and therefore I am going to be able to provide you guys with a link below to where, if you're interested in buying this board, by all means, check out their website, check out the board and all the accessories. And if you are interested in purchasing it, be sure to include the promo code ALSU. Should have been ALSU Chess, but whatever, ALSU, and you'll get an additional like 10% off discount off your order. So that's really cool. So you're welcome. You're welcome. Hit that like button, and be sure to stay tuned. Probably within the next couple of weeks, I'm going to really take this board pretty much everywhere with me, where maybe like I might take it to work. Maybe if I have some free time, I'll really play around with this board. I'll definitely take this board when I wait for my daughter for like an hour and a half, to really take the time and learn and sort of see. Also, when they start to make further updates to the software, to where I'll be able to see like the integration of the chess.com and more like different options, I'm going to kind of gather all that information together and present you guys with a new video, maybe a couple of videos, so that you guys can see where this technology is going and how this board is doing. Like I said, I wish this video on ChessUp would be the very first video online that you guys have seen for the ChessUp, but actually, like I said, I've seen Eric Rosen play some games on it. Eric Rosen, you're a cool guy. I don't ever think that Eric Rosen's gonna watch my videos, but if you do, I really enjoyed watching your game that you did on playing on this board, where you showed us how you were, if you remember the game where you were kind of bringing the rooks to the b file, and you were kind of creating a mating net with the bishop and the queen, and you were showing us how you were kind of cornering that king there. That was really cool. Although I think that maybe moving the bishop back to the first rank there was a little bit of a loss of tempo there. But like I said, great. If Eric Rosen watches this video, or if somebody nudges Eric Rosen to watch this video, Eric Rosen, be sure to comment if you enjoyed this video. Be sure to let me know, and that would be fantastic. Anyways, with that being said, like I said, I was really exciting, and now my excitement is drawing to an end because I'm getting tired, and I know I have like 2 hours of editing and then posting. So, and I've only got like a couple of hours of sleep. And as always, love you guys. Thanks for sticking around. Be sure to check them out. Be sure to check the website, and if you are interested, be sure to leave them feedback too. So that's like I said, that's really important. Leave comments on this video. Leave feedback on their webpage. If there's anything they can improve on, they'll definitely take that into account. So with that being said, everybody have a great productive week. Play some chess. I know with this board I'm going to be playing a lot of chess, and hopefully next time you'll see me, I'll be like a lot better at chess. Stay safe, everybody, and I'll see you guys in the next video, okay? Bye-bye.